and why is it important? My name is Michaela Sinclair, and I am the Director of Programming at Products by Women. So thank you all for making time on your Friday evening or afternoon or morning, wherever you may be joining us from. We're so happy to have you here. And just a little bit about me, I'm a freelance UX designer and I'm passionate about Indian classical music. And I'm really excited about the topic that we're going to be exploring today with Elizabeth, who I'll be handing it over to in a moment. But first, I want to tell you a little bit about Products by Women. If you are not familiar with us, we are a diverse global community network for women in innovation, tech, and beyond. And it's a place where you can connect with and learn from your peers, find jobs beyond borders, and get matched with recruiters and mentors to accelerate your career. So what's one way you can get more involved or connect is one, you can attend our events like you're doing right now. So awesome, thank you for joining. Check that off your list. You can read articles that were written by other members of Women in Products by Women. You can also submit an article to be featured on our site. You can join our Slack channel. We also have some great podcasts you can explore if that's more your thing. And most recently, we're super excited to announce our first annual Products by Women 2020 awards. So you can enter, you can either nominate yourself or nominate someone else for a different product award, where we have put together a panel of people in product who are very talented senior product people who will be evaluating that. So if you want to read more about that, consider it, go to our website and check it out. So without further ado, we have a packed schedule for today, so I don't want to take up any more of Products by Women time. I'm just going to hand it over to Elizabeth to go over into the topic that we'll be exploring today. So Elizabeth, do you want me to let you screen share, or are you okay with me running the slides for you?
You can run slides.
Okay, I'll hand it over to you then.
Okay. So hey everyone, I'm Elizabeth. So today we do actually have quite a packed schedule for today. So we're going to go through what is first time user experience, exploring the landing page, what are magic moments, and then we're going to go through some breakout groups. And you're going to be paired up with one person throughout the entire workshop. And so we are going to make really good friends of our one person, and let's get through it. Cool. So my ask for Zoom, I see that there is 13 participants, probably including Michaela and myself. My ask for Zoom is that we actually all turn our videos on and audio as well, if possible. And the reason for that is some crazy stat that is 60–70% of communication is nonverbal. And so I cannot see if my slides are communicating unless I see your beautiful faces. So if you can turn your video on, and unless you have background noise, I would also love if you could turn on your audio as well. And you can decide how much background noise you have. So I'm Elizabeth. I'm the founder of Product Mindset, and we're a product consultancy that focuses on first-time user experience. A little bit, all my spiel things, those are all data points of mine, but I actually want to go through my experience in a different way. So as you probably all know, the product management skill sets that we evaluate ourselves on are like the tech, the business.
Elizabeth, we lost you.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry about that. Yeah, so the product management skills that we're finding ourselves at the center of are tech, business, and design. So I wanted to go through my experience in a different way. I'd like to joke that this is actually my 4th career in 7 years, and so I'm going to explain a little bit more about my data points of experience. My first major data point was that I was the co-founder of the New York City Network of Women Who Code, which is a pretty large meetup group specifically for female software engineers. And we run hundreds of free, really high quality events every year. And I'm so lucky that that group is now 16,000 people. But that's been a labor of love for like 6–7 years. So that was definitely more on the developer evangelism route, but kind of going into tech and business. And then I was a software engineer at Time Inc. So that's definitely on the tech side. So definitely in the tech sector. I was the head of product for Zappix, which graduated from Techstars. And so that was a little bit of tech, a little bit of business because I was pitching a lot. And those mock-ups that you saw right there were actually made by me. So definitely a little bit of very, very poor design. So next, I was a product for StreetMix, which is a Code for America project. And they, for example, the street that you see outside is made by a number of urban planners and architects. And so this is a tool that is used actually 600,000 times around the world. And we have amazing adoption in like Brazil and China. So it's kind of fascinating to work with product there. And that was definitely more in the business side because we're figuring out a business model. And next, product manager within American Express, I was working on an inner source framework called One App that my customers were other departments, were developers inside of other departments. And so that was definitely more within the business realm. Business and tech, founder for Matchstick, which is a product that was created on a hackathon startup bus actually last year. But it was created for designers. And so I had to get really in mind with the designers that I was serving. So that is definitely more in the design realm. And then finally, Tacklebox, which is an accelerator I went through. That's on the business side. And then finally, product mindset consulting. Here we are, we're finally here. August 28, 2020, and I'm so interested in the first time user experience. And so I know that a lot of people tend to give their resumes when they talk about their careers, and I wanted to show the evolving of my career instead. And so now I'm kind of like in the intersection finally between tech, business, and design. It's taken me so long to get here. So what is first-time user experience? So what I consider the first-time user experiences is the first time a user, a prospect, interacts with something that we've created. So that's going to be a landing page, emails, and onboarding. And that's what I tend to focus on. The reason I focus on it is because during all of my different experiences, every time I come on to a nonprofit, a for-profit, enterprise, startup, whatever size of company, the onboarding is always slapped on my plate. And I have no idea why this is. I'm not sure if it's just me, but every time I've come onto a company, I have to do the onboarding. And I'm like, this sucks. Like, I have so many other things to do. I've got to get to know the entire tech team, the entire business team, and I've got to like make these gorgeous, beautiful features, and I need to figure out the onboarding. This is really, really difficult. Why isn't this a more crucial part? Why isn't this someone focusing on this? This is so major to keeping users and getting them involved with their product. And so that's what I've been so incredibly interested in for the past year. Is creating a first-time user experience. And so for the past 3 months, my lovely quarantine, I have been actually creating first-time user experience videos where I have evaluated enterprise products, startup products, and everything across the board. And I'm like, hey, everyone's facing, doesn't matter how much money you have, enterprise products face the same problems as startup problems, which is when you come onto a product for the first time, a user is only going to give you 5 minutes. They're going to give you 5 minutes to figure out if your product resonates with them, or they're going to hop off. And you have 5 minutes to make an impression. And if you're so lucky as to a major, beautiful landing page, major onboarding, then you need to make breadcrumbs throughout the experience so that they can understand small little bits of the product and building up to a large understanding of it. And one of the things that I find within product that is very frustrating is that most of the bonuses of my friends who are product managers are tied to the number of features they create, and unfortunately that tends to create a little bit more feature bloat. But then we see this really horrible thing happen with a lot of user drop off at the beginning. And so we can't most small and medium-sized businesses are going to have between 50 to 100 features within their platform. But a user coming on for the first time, they can only handle 1, 2, 3 features. This is your UX is entirely new to them. And so I see a huge amount of drop off purely because we're just driving away users with a lack of guiding through a first time user experience. And so I'm really fascinated with this. I'm really fascinated with how it impacts high level metrics that we focus on, like reducing churn and the number of people who are coming on who stay with us for the longevity of that product. What are the beautiful, what I call them is magic moments, the success moments that are happening on the landing page? What are those case studies, those testimonials, and how long does it take for a user to actually get there? Because most tutorials, most onboarding are like, hey, you can do this in 5 minutes, and that's never true. I don't know about you guys, but every time I've seen that, I always time it. I'm like, no, this took me at least 15 minutes. Like, don't tell me it's 5 minutes. So anyway, I can go on many diatribes, but that's a little bit about the first time user experience. Cool. So we're gonna go through 4 parts of a framework. And the first part is the landing page. And so the first thing that I look at within the first time user experience is the landing page. And I look for a couple of things there. And I specifically say the landing page and not the website, because the website has a lot of parts. I know there's so many tabs on a website, but the landing page is usually what most people are coming on to first. And then they're making a decision, and there's a huge amount of bounce rate from that. Like a typical bounce rate for a landing page will be between 25 to 75%. On the landing page, I'm looking for a couple of really clear things. I'm looking for, is there a clear call to action? So that's gonna come through the design, is the color scheme. The messaging, I can usually tell whether a startup, whether a company understands who their customer is, because it comes through in their messaging. Is there a strong pain point that they're addressing with their messaging? Is there a strong persona? Is there a singular persona or multiple personas that they're addressing with their messaging? Or are they saying, hey, this is a general product and everybody under the sun can use it, which tells us that it's probably going to be a horrible product experience and a really bad onboarding. And then ultimately, all of those things lead down to, is there an easy sign up process? And so things that I look for are you gonna make me enter in my credit card when I want to sign up for the product? Am I gonna have to like go find my wallet that's in the car, and you're gonna have to make me enter that in so that I can actually try out your product and then decide that it's shitty? Like I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna sign up for your product then. Or are you gonna make me enter in like 15 different fields because your sales team has convinced you that it's better to do the qualifying up front? And that's another way to like totally drive me off the product. So driving all of this down is, I'm looking for like, who is the target user of a site? What are they gonna gain by joining? Did they speak to the, is that speaking to a pain point that you have? And of course, how strong is that pain point? Are they offering a compelling solution, or are they just like speaking at you? And are there case studies, testimonials that you're like, yeah, oh my gosh, this definitely resonates with me. Nod your head if this is making sense, or unmute yourself and say, yes, this is great, or bad.
This is great.
Yep, this is good.
Okay, cool. So I actually wanted to do a live first-time user experience of a product that you guys had thought of. So I would ask everyone, is there a product that maybe you're working for, or you're really interested in, a product that you haven't tried out before, something that probably we wouldn't know, something like Spotify is not going to be a good example because we've all used it. Google Drive, not going to be a great example, but can everyone think of a product and that they're like maybe thinking about using, and post that in the chat? And I will choose one and then go to that landing page, and we'll do a live first time user experience. Nero. Ooh, hoppin'.
And I can stop sharing my screen so you could share your screen to do the demo if you want, Elizabeth.
Cool.
Okay.
That's great. LinkedIn. LinkedIn, I feel like we have, I personally have used LinkedIn a lot, so I wouldn't be able to do that one. Webflow. lose it. Candor. Okay. Candor. Oh, Lori, got it. Oh, Miro, haha. Okay. Michaela, Namisha, do you have any preference?
Yeah, I was gonna probably say products by women, but let's hold off on that. Can we get feedback on products by women? Okay.
Do you want me to do products by women?
Yeah, go for it. Like,
Okay.
I mean, everybody, yeah, that'll be amazing feedback.
Okay, let's do it. I feel like I've cheated. I've definitely seen the landing page there, but I can definitely look at it like like it's my first time. So, okay, let me share my screen. Okay, can everyone see my screen? Can you guys nod?
Yeah.
What am I doing? I am doing productsbywomen.com. Okay. Ooh, love it. Okay, so first thing that's hitting me is like beautiful shade of pink. I know who you're targeting. You're obviously targeting women, aside from the title, because not many websites or very specific websites are in like shades of pink like this. Like this icon is really big to me. Oh, did someone say something? This icon is really big to me, and at first glance, Namisha, I actually didn't get it. And it's actually funny because I tagged you in a LinkedIn post. I tagged Products by Women, and I was like, is that the icon? It looks a little weird, because it looks a little weird when you see it as like 16 by 16.
Oh, okay. No. You sent me an email. I remember that. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, definitely icons can look beautiful when they're like up front, and then of course when they get reduced down to 16 by 16, it's so confusing.
I just want to say that, you know, everybody who's present here, you can be as critical and as brutal as you want, and this is all valuable feedback. So I'm going to be making notes. Yeah.
The first thing I noticed is the 2020 awards. It seems like we have two call to actions, the upcoming events and the 2020 awards. Awards sounds really interesting to me. Like, I didn't even know you had awards. So I was like, whoa, awards? Like, I totally want to click here. So I actually clicked at the awards first, not the events. And as you guys can probably see, I'm on my desktop right now. So everything looks beautiful and glorious and large, as opposed to a mobile site. So this picture looks great and like super high quality. It looks like very bubbly. Enter now, first global awards. Whoa, so cool. Like there's awards for this. This is amazing. Okay, so I feel very, very like part of it. Like I feel like you're trying to celebrate people who are part of some community, like the community that you run. So on one side, that's just like step number one. It makes me feel like it's very accessible. Hilariously, I didn't go to your call to action, which is the upcoming events. But we'll ignore that for just right now. Get matched with recruiters and mentors. So as you can probably also see, I'm like kind of glossing over this part, right? But Products by Women is global community network. I think network is probably redundant, so probably just community for women in tech and beyond, get matched with peers, get matched with mentors, find jobs. Okay, so it's a lot of initial words. If I hadn't touched the Products by Women brand, it's like a community and you do a lot of stuff. And I'm just at the first, like above the fold. Have you guys heard that term, above the fold versus below the fold?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. And for those who haven't, it's a term from media where newspapers, for instance, that were above the fold. So for instance, when you buy them at a newspaper stand, what you can see is above the fold. So the most important news, like the stock exchange, stock market dropping, always had to be above the fold, the first thing you saw without having to turn the page. That's above the fold versus below. And there's a lot going on. Get matched with recruiters and mentors, accelerating. I'm a mentee, I'm a recruiter, I'm a mentor. Okay. Collaborated with lots of organizations. Whoa, great, beautiful names, featured events. Okay, so there's a lot of going on. Podcast, whoa. And to be fair, I also have a little bit more background because I was remarking on to Michaela about this a couple of days ago, but I'm like, wow, there's a lot of stuff, and that's, and I know that Michaela had said, yeah, we're trying to meet people where they are, and Namisha, like meeting you, it definitely makes sense. I would say if I'm just touching it for the first time, I'm curious where people are going to first, actually, as a first user of Products by Women, because there's a lot of things like podcast. I'm probably like, actually, you know what I did for your podcast is I went to Apple Podcast and I was like, oh, there's a podcast. I want to see how many reviews it has to see if this is like a big legit thing or not. And then I saw that there were 3 reviews and I was like, she's probably amazing, Namisha, way before I met you, but there's only 3 reviews. So that's like definitely judging on KPI or on like quantity versus quality.
Yeah.
What members are saying, this is great. Like obviously you've got some people who are really passionate. Featured articles. Okay, I loved that there were people who had written articles and for partnerships do this thing. So like overall impressions for Products by Women is that there's a lot of parts. I can engage in a lot of ways. I think if I do think it's very accessible because I've touched you once. That sounds actually really weird. I've talked to Michaela. I know about the Products by Women brand. So I don't feel intimidated. I wonder if someone was coming on for the first time, if they would feel intimidated because there's just a lot of stuff and you're not giving me a very clear call to action, which is like, do one thing. Because there's the events, there's the awards, there's getting matching, there's a lot of things I can do. But the pink makes me feel very like touchy-feely and like everything's very accessible to me. Women behind the products, like it's also very clear that you're trying to go like below the skin, like to a deeper place. And that I can engage with you very easily. Like you put your emails like right, even if it's just like an info email, like you put it right there. I can submit an article. I can submit someone for the awards. I can go to an event. So that does make it feel like even though there's a lot of parts, I can engage with you really easily. Was that helpful for anyone? Everyone? Was that helpful to see? Okay. Cool, appreciate it. Cool, I'm gonna stop sharing my screen and we're gonna go back to the lovely deck and then we're actually going to do this with you. Oh, Michaela, are you?
Yeah, sorry. I'm just,
No worries.
1 second.
So a little bit of background, we're going to be doing this with you guys next. We're gonna put you into breakout groups and you are going to evaluate a website called bandcamp.com. Anyone here know Bandcamp? I don't think I'm seeing a lot of no's. So that's great. That's amazing. This will be your first time going on to it. You're going to be paired into groups and you're going to evaluate with someone else the way that I've evaluated. Michaela, next slide.
Yep.
Okay, so I did make a worksheet with a bunch of questions that are varied, that are all of these questions. Page 1 is the landing page evaluation and page 2 is what we'll go through next, which is the 1 minute to 5 minute magic moment. So if you go to that link, bit.ly/FTUX/worksheet, there's all these questions on there and you can do a checkbox and you can also write in the notes. So just in case we turn off this video, or I'm sorry, the slides, you'll have a guidance there. And yeah, so we're approximating about like 5-8 minutes for this. And from there, let's get into breakout groups. So please introduce yourself, probably turn on your audio and do a landing page evaluation.
Can you put the link in the chat too as well? I think that would be helpful.
Yes, I can. Okay.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and send you guys to your rooms. And if we need to move things, then I'll do that. I think we have, okay, I'll have to manually change up a few people, but well, I'll put you in the rooms and then do that. Bye. Okay. Okay. Hi, Yemen. The If you can hear me, I
Oh,
just want to.
hi.
The participants are in a breakout room, so they're going to join us back in like exactly a minute. So you can,
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
they'll be back in just like a minute. Uh,
Sorry, I was a little bit late.
no worries. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Where are you joining us from?
Uh, Jersey.
Yeah, me too. I live in Exchange,
Oh,
please. What about you?
Newport.
Yeah, you're close to me.
Really?
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they had like this exercise, like a workshop where they're going and evaluating a website, like their first time UX on the website. So it is a recorded session. So if you've missed something, you can catch up later. Don't worry about it.
Great.
They'll be back, I think now in like 20 seconds, and then we'll continue. There's another breakout room, and I think like a few minutes, so you can join the cohort then.
Sounds funny.
Yeah. Awesome. Is this the first event that you're doing with us?
No, I've actually participated in a lot of events.
Oh, really? That's
Yeah. And the bar, like, it's called Tom and Jerry, right?
oh yes,
I
yes,
went there twice.
that's right. Hi, welcome back, welcome back. I think we're gonna have everybody back in exactly 50 seconds, Elizabeth.
Oh, I definitely counted down wrong then. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's gonna be back. Yeah, so Yemen just joined us. So I was telling her that they're in a room right now. So they're gonna be joining us back in a few minutes, like a minute, in exactly a minute. It's it's been so great so far. Yeah. Hello. Hey guys, welcome back. Welcome back.
Hello.
Hey, Laura. Where are you guys based right now? Laura?
I'm in New York.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay,
In
I think we have
Toronto.
everyone back with us.
You think?
Cool.
Where are you?
I'm in Toronto.
Toronto. Lovely.
So
All right, I'll screen share again.
How was that, guys?
Great.
It was an adventure.
To check it out more later. It's great.
Yeah, this is awesome. I didn't know about this.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's go through the questions then. Who is the target user of the site?
Can I go ahead? Okay.
Yes, this is
So the target users are the music lovers and musicians. There is another element of labels which I did not dive further, but I feel that it's a marketplace for music creators and fans.
music creators and fans. Okay. What will you gain by joining someone else?
I can go. My impression is that you will be gaining, I guess, like early access or like an early discovery of all of these artists who are pretty much up and coming.
Mhm. Was that a strong pain point?
I don't think that was, to be quite honest. I was very overwhelmed with everything on the site. Like when I was working with my partner, I kept complaining about that one bar on the bottom that kept showing the CD coming out because I felt like that was very distracting of me wanting to venture out and learn more about the site. And I just felt like there was just a lot of like information thrown at me and I didn't even know where to look. And I thought back to like how you were saying how like usually like a user can only digest like one, maybe up to like 3 features at a time. And I felt like I saw like 5 different things and I didn't know where to look.
Yeah. Anyone have a different opinion? We all think that it was a lot of info that they were throwing at you. What was the solution that they offered? And Hillary, you kind of touched on this, but someone else.
Well, for musicians, it provided direct access to their fans and control over their music. So they could sell their music at the price that they wished directly to the fans. So it cuts out the middleman, but then the third user was labels. So that was a little confusing. We didn't really get into that as much. It wasn't as clear what their, what their involvement was, but it seemed like musicians could sell directly to fans.
Definitely seemed like that. And last question, were there case studies, testimonials, some sort of success where you got the impression that if you spent a lot of time on that platform, you could do this beautiful, magical thing at the end? There was some success moment. Anyone?
The most I saw was just that distracting bar at the top that was saying like selling right now. So you actually see what people are buying on the site. So you know that artists are selling, they're selling merch, they're selling their music. But I didn't really see testimonials like from artists or anything, unless I missed it.
Got it. Yeah. And so how was this exercise for everyone? Was it difficult to do, easy to do, a new lens, a lens that you've adopted before?
I found it pretty easy. I love looking at things like this on a regular basis anyway, so to have to do it for a job, I think would be pretty fun.
Who was just speaking? I'm so sorry.
That was Amanda.
Amanda, where are you? Oh my gosh, I don't know what's happening. I'm only seeing on my thing 10 people, so I'm so sorry about that, Amanda. Okay, so we're gonna go on to the second and third part of the framework, which is the magic moments. And so I like to think of magic moments at 2 intervals, the 1 minute and at the 5 minute. And so when I come onto the platform for the first time, cool, you got me. I signed up for the free trial. I've entered in all the form fields. I've even found my wallet that was in the car hidden behind like all the things. I finally sign up for your platform and I see your platform for the first time. Now, what we were all just evaluating was the landing page. If you're comfortable with it, I would love you to sign up for the product. And this is not my product, so I'm not just trying to get signups for the product this way. But they're just as a thing there. But so the points that I look for, what I call magic, is at the 1 minute and the 5 minute. And when I come on for the first time, I've given you potentially very little info about myself, but I am looking for some sort of immediate sweetener of why I'm here in the first place. And so this points to me of understanding who their target persona is. If they understand their target persona well, they will understand that there are maximum 3 reasons that I've come onto the site. And for example, I'm trying to think of a couple of things like Spotify. If I come onto Spotify, they're going to give me a playlist because I'm interested in a specific artist and a specific music type. Like they're going to try showing me a specific music type and trying to get me to invest more time in there. So the 1 minute magic moment, I just came on, I've given you very little info. What are they going to offer you immediately? At the 5 minutes, now you've invested a couple of minutes playing around with the UX of the platform. You've probed all the features that they've given you. Now that you've spent 5 minutes on the platform, what have you created? What have you done? So for example, how many of you guys have used Squarespace or Wix or any of those website creators?
Yeah.
You've used it. I would say that creating a website is a 5 minute magic moment. You choose a template, that's a 1 minute magic moment because you just choose one. And then at the 5 minutes, you start entering in your title, you start adding in an e-commerce product if that's what you're interested in selling. And at 5 minutes, you're like, whoa, I have a website. And 5 minutes ago, I did not have a website. And so that's what I mean by a magic moment, something that you couldn't get or would have to work much harder to get outside of that platform. Any questions on this? Okay, so we're gonna do it. What was so let's go straight to Bandcamp. And let's do the same breakout groups. And you're going to go into your 1-minute criteria and your 5-minute criteria. And this is a platform that is new to all of you. So you're looking for what is that initial sweetener? What are they going to give you? Now that you're on Bandcamp, what are they going to give you? And then once you've spent a little bit of time, what are they going to give you first? Giving more and more of your information, more of your time onto that platform.
Okay. So you want us to create, one of us will just create an account and we'll watch. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Well, okay.
Ready to head over?
Ready to head over it.
Hey, welcome back.
Hi.
Hi.
I love your name. I have two friends named Naima, so this looks similar, but it's Naimisha.
Yes, that's right. Thank you.
Nice. Yeah.
Hey guys, welcome back. I guess our Friday evenings are going to look like this from now on. But this is so fantastic. I mean, there's so many like passionate people who are like working and learning on a Friday evening, which is incredible. I don't know if it talks about how passionate we are or how nerdy we are, or we don't have much of anything to explore on a Friday evening.
I think all of it. I think it's good. It's like, yeah, we still have the rest of the night to do stuff, but I think it's nerdy and it's great.
Yeah, I agree. Awesome. I think we've got everybody back. Yes.
Well,
Yes.
how was it? How was the 1 minute? How was the 5 minute? So things for 1 minute. What do you think the magic moments were there? Or were there any? Which is even bigger question. What was a value that you received immediately when you signed up for the site?
I think this is Jaya speaking. I think we were guided nicely through the onboarding process, as well as we were able to select different genres of music. So I guess that was kind of okay. You have come here for this purpose, and so we are going to give you what you want. Kind of, I guess that was a magic moment for my partner and me.
Yeah, able to select the genre of music that you like to listen to. Yeah. Anyone else? 1 minute.
My magic moment was when they said that they will.
Oops.
Amanda.
We lost Amanda.
We lost her, but I was her partner, so I can jump in and say I know what I think I know where she was going with this. But you had the option to join their newsletter. They gave you that option. You could opt in or you could opt out, and they were very specific. Like, it's a weekly newsletter for this purpose. So it's like you can get insider info, but you don't have to, and you're not just going to start sending me content that I don't want.
Right. Yeah, it makes you feel very agent to get that choice.
If you want to sign up for the weekly newsletter, and I thought it was.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Yeah. That I was just saying, it makes you feel very agent when you can decide to receive it or not. You know that and if you decide to receive it, you know what you're getting, rather than carte blanche opting into as many emails as they can send you in a day. Okay. So how about the 5 minutes? So now you spent a couple of minutes on the site. What did you receive as value after 5 minutes? Or was there value? Was there a higher tier of value?
I know we had more questions.
Yeah.
Oh, what were your questions?
Like the buttons at the top for the feed, and it wasn't labeled, so we didn't really know what that was. And then how do you know who's an artist and who's a fan and who's a band? And then we even went into trying to buy an album, and then the field was blank, but right beside it says 99 and up, 9.99 and up. So there was like two different messages happening there.
That's very unclear. That would definitely confuse the user.
Yeah, it was.
How many features do you think you guys touched in the 5 minutes? At carte blanche estimate, do you wanna, you can all post it in the chat.
I actually only just checked one feature, like, because I started listening to music. So I guess just one for me, because I wanted to like sample some of the different artists. So I went to their essentials, like wrap up essential releases. the weekly wrap up, and that was cool because it had like a sample track, bio about the band, where they're from, their photo. It was really nice. So maybe that's more than one feature actually, but yeah, that was really nicely designed, I think. An easy way to see a couple of different artists that they thought everyone should learn about.
Kayla said that she touched, so you touched one, Bonetta.
Yep.
Michaela touched 3. Yeah, so that's approximately the number of features. 1 to 3 is all the number of features that someone's going to touch in 5 minutes. And so when we think about making product, when you guys go back on Monday to your companies and think about making product, one of the lenses that I would love you to take away is that user is going to get very overwhelmed very fast, especially at that first time that they're coming on. And so you can only give them breadcrumbs and make it simple, so simple, stupid for them that they only touch one feature at a time. And Monetta, you said that the one feature was so well laid out. Well, maybe we would feel more comfortable investing more time should it only be the one feature and then the second feature and then the third feature, and we only touched one feature at a time. They guided us through that process.
Right. Yeah.
Yep. Cool.
Oh, sorry. What about the onboarding? So like after you sign up and then you go through and it's like, oh, do you want some tips on how to navigate? That's another feature. And that was nice. It wasn't too many. It was like 2 tips. And then you could just jump right in. So they made it really simple, easy to do that and get to it instead of go through 10 different steps. And this is how you use the site. It was very intuitive.
The onboarding is definitely very intuitive. Yes. Yeah. And if you went through the onboarding and you did the one feature, then, and you didn't go rogue, then yes, I think you had a very good experience. Problem is the rest of us who go rogue. Yep. Cool. So hopefully, I know we're a little past. I really enjoyed teaching this. This is my first time teaching this workshop on first time user experience. But if you would like to talk more about first time user experience, if you know your company has a desperate need for talking about first time user experience, please, you can book time with me at bit.ly/meet FTUX Elizabeth. Thank you, Michaela, for posting that in the chat. And otherwise, I'm really happy to stay on and talk your ears off of FTUX because I think it's the coolest thing since sliced bread, and I don't think we talk enough about it. But otherwise, I release you off to your probably much more fun evening activity.
Yeah, thank you, Elizabeth. I think, just to respect everyone's time, we'll probably just wrap it up here. But I know, like you said, thank you for giving your information how to connect, and we can continue offline with you. Any further questions and deep dives for sure. And thank you everyone who joined us for participating so fully. I hope that you're walking away with something new, something inspiring, maybe a new connection, and definitely, keep coming to our events. If you have any ideas of other events you might want, always feel free to email me or reach out to Naimisha. And we have some more events coming up, like the next one that I'll be hosting is in a little less than a week on being a first designer at a startup, if that interests you. So, we got good stuff, and just always stay up to date. Check us out on LinkedIn, check us out on Slack. And if you want to apply for our awards, please do. And I hope to see you at another event. So have a great evening, everyone. And thank you, Elizabeth, and thank you, Naimisha.
No, thank you so much. We've just dropped all the resources in the chat box. So hope to see you guys soon. And thank you so much, Elizabeth. This was fantastic. And I learned a lot for sure.
Yeah, great.
Thank
you
Good
guys.
night, everyone.
Have a great weekend.
Bye, you too.